Hello, this is my take on The Mountain Is You, the bestseller authored by Bruno West. The mountain beckons. The metaphor of the mountain has evolved since the advent of literature to be accepted as a symbol of insurmountable obstacles and as an inviting challenge that needs to be scaled to be able to address life's vagaries. Time and again, we have been encouraged to size up our mountains, quite ironically by looking inward for insights to equip ourselves to show up for the climb. It goes without saying that as we master skills to climb the mountain erected by our minds, it is an act of self-mastery as well. The Mountain Is You can be classified as a self-help book authored by Brianna West at her illuminating best when she convinces us to harness the power of our minds to enlarge and enrich the scope of our life and our day-to-day existence. In this book, with 7 brief chapters, the author proves to be adept in saying more with less. The book espouses the power of positive thinking by analyzing the idea of self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is a coping mechanism, yet it does not fulfill your needs in the long term. Hence, breaking the cycle of self-sabotage is a prerequisite for personal growth and overcoming barriers. The first chapter is titled The Mountain Is You, and the opening line is, "There's nothing holding you back in life more than yourself." This very honest and incisive statement sounds more enticing if you are on the lookout for an anchor to rein in the waves of your mindscape for a smoother sail. What does self-sabotage look like is a question posed by the author initially, and from the very next page onwards, we are invited to ponder over the possible answers as the narrative presents a wide range of scenarios that validate our being in a cycle of self-sabotage. What follows is a very organized way of presenting facts that can help us identify the signs of self-sabotage together with the discussion of practical ways of resolving it. They vary from very tangible ones like resistance, disorganization, and unhealthy habits to less tangible ones like perfectionism, downplaying, and fear of failure. Chapter 3 lives up to its title, How to Interpret Emotions, as a guide to a better understanding of undesired emotions ranging from anger, sadness, guilt, and regret to resentment and chronic fear. When anger is described as a beautiful, transformative emotion, we gain confidence to mobilize the same anger into something productive by changing something within our lives. Likewise, jealousy is labeled as a cover-up emotion, and the reader is invited to go through a small exercise that eventually helps us to recognize our self-sabotaging behaviors, thereby instilling in us the courage to commit to what we actually desire. The author seems to have taken the sting from these negative emotions quite deliberately so that the reader succeeds in entering into the much coveted space of personal renaissance. Another very effective tool employed by the writer comes under the heading, Your Subconscious Mind is Trying to Communicate with You. The author gives a few examples of how our subconscious mind might be trying to communicate with us through our behaviors. Thus, one step at a time, we gain momentum in building emotional intelligence by listening to our thoughts and feelings. Finally, by pitting intuitive nudges against intrusive thoughts, the writer invites us to build emotional intelligence not by breakthroughs but in micro shifts. She writes, "A mind-blowing singular breakthrough is not what changes your life. A micro shift is. Making big sweeping changes is not difficult because we are flawed incompetent beings. It is difficult because we are not meant to live outside of our comfort zones. If you want to change your life, you need to make tiny, nearly undetectable decisions every hour of every day until these choices are habituated. Then you'll just continue to do them. If you want to spend less time on your phone, deny yourself the chance to check it one time today. If you want to eat healthy, drink half a cup of water today. If you want to read 1 page. Then keep doing these things. Do them every single day." The brutally honest image of being in our own cages and staying in them even though there's no lock on the door is potent enough to build confidence, to push ourselves out of our comfort zones, and here the narrative comes full circle. As we read chapter 7, titled From Self-Sabotage to Self-Mastery, we have already grasped something that was always within our reach, an extraordinary transformation and the realization that true growth comes from within, and how important it is that we tap into our own power to discover it. The book is a reminder to stop being mere onlookers, seeing life pass by us. It galvanizes our collective imagination to adopt new ways of thinking and to choose our responses to life situations, truly leveraging the power of words. And truer still, we go only as far as our minds go.